Hey,
Hey,
hello.
thanks so much for joining us, Joe. I appreciate you taking the time to do this, and I'd love for you to tell a little bit about your background and your story, and tell us ultimately what you like about the Nexus Rewards opportunity.
But a little bit about me. I worked in the airline business for 47 years, and I finally had to retire in 2016 to care for my wife. She became disabled. Her motor skills weren't what they needed, and so I couldn't work at the airline and take care of her at the same time. So I decided to retire. And the the airline business is a 24/7 job. I mean, I got to tell you, I was out at the airport many nights and mornings, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning with canceled flights, delayed flights, unhappy customers, and all that kind of stuff. But in any event, it was a very rewarding career because I got to go just about around the world. I mean, I worked in Guam before I got here to Fort Myers. I've been in Los Angeles, New York, Texas. I grew up in Houston. So I've had a great opportunity with the airlines, and I really enjoyed that career. I started in network marketing back in 1991, and like a lot of folks, Amway was the big one back then, and so I didn't do very well drawing circles on the board, so I kind of got out of that business. But I got to tell you, it got in my blood. It just did, and I love meeting people on the phone and just talking to people, and it's just amazing how many good people there are out there in the States, and that you get to meet them through this networking business. And I love that part of the business. And so since Amway, I've tried several other programs, and I almost became a junkie, so to speak, because I tried one for about 6 months or so, spent a few hundred or $1,000 on that darn thing. And if it didn't work out, I'd go do something else. And I just kept hip hopping around. And like you say, a couple of years ago when we met, and then got out of that other program. And then when I heard that you and Rob were starting up Nexus, I was in, man. I mean, I didn't care what the comp plan was. I didn't care what the products were. I just knew that if you and Rob were going to start a company, that it was going to be successful. And so I was all in from day one. And so I joined, and lo and behold, caregiving to a person is very time consuming. It can sometimes be mentally exhausting. But I try to do as much consistent work as I possibly could on the time that I'm given. And it's rewarded me. I mean, I planted a lot of seeds, and the consistent work has come out now. Where I have an organization now that's pretty decent size. It's not where I want it to be yet, but I'm going to get there. But I've never had this many people in my group. I mean, it's just amazing, and so I attribute that to the system and the program that we have in place that you guys have developed. And what I really like about Nexus is I love using the apps. I mean, I've already cashed in several $100s on just using the apps, taking pictures of the darn receipts. I mean, I go around telling people, I said, how would you like to get cash back on what you're walking out with the grocery store or whatever, and I hand them a flyer. I got a flyer made up. I just give them the flyer. And so it's just so easy to promote. And I love using those apps. I've saved a ton of money on my wife's prescriptions already. And it's just really helping a lot of families. And my mission now is just to help as many families as I can that are struggling out there, paycheck to paycheck, just trying to make ends meet, and sharing this business with them and the opportunity, and trying to help as many folks as I can.